You are now listening to Mike's Opinion. Logic Unleashed.
That's right. You are now listening to the Mike's Opinion podcast. Thank you so much for listening. How you doing today? I hope you're doing good. You know, I always want to know, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're COVID free. I hope you're doing fantastic. According to the numbers, COVID's on a decline, but let's not get too optimistic just yet. Anyway, today's episode is a serious one. It's about a serious subject. As you see in the title is The Illogical Assault on Abortion. Now, when you read that title, you might think, oh, this guy's pro-abortion. Well, no. Mike of the Mike's Opinion podcast, me, is not pro-life or pro-choice. And you say, well, look, you got to be on one side or the other, right? And that's one of the problems going on in society these days. There's no neutrality. There's no middle ground. There's no compromise. There's no understanding. The masses are vehemently one-sided. Either right or left. Liberal or conservative. Democrat or Republican. Pro-life or pro-choice. No, humans. We can agree to disagree and meet in the middle. Okay? You respect my choices, I respect your choices. But the reason why I may sound pro-choice, and the reason why I named or titled this episode The Illogical Assault, because as you know, here on the Mike's Opinion podcast, it's Logic Unleashed. Logic is let loose here. And if you think this through logically, not emotionally, not religiously, not politically, you can arrive to logical conclusions. Logical conclusions are what I present to you today. Now, Mike, you say to yourself, why did you choose this topic? Well, in case you've been living under a tree, there's been heated debate again about abortion. And a lot of it stems from Texas and Mississippi recent activities regarding abortion. Prominently Texas, where I happen to reside currently. Yes, and have for quite some time. I call Texas home now. Just like Elon Musk is about to. Huh? And many other corporations and people. Texas is hot. It's hot. For many reasons. Anyway, I digress, as I normally do. But the state of Texas very recently passed a law that said all abortions are illegal 6 weeks and older. Okay? So, according to many in the medical community, a lot of women don't even know they're pregnant at 6 weeks. They may think they're having an erratic period. They might not find out they're pregnant until 2 or 3 months. And I've even heard stories of women went to the bathroom, had a baby, didn't know they were pregnant the entire pregnancy. So, to say you cannot have an abortion as early as 6 weeks is frankly preposterous. To add to the preposterousness of that law is this includes incest and rape. You can't have an abortion for those either. There's only one reason why you can have an abortion after 6 weeks. And that is if the woman can possibly lose her life because she's medically in danger if she carries that pregnancy to term. Yes. Adding the ridiculousness to that law is that private citizens can sue anyone providing abortion services or related to that. Now, summarily speaking, the law in Texas was passed. Then the Supreme Court was challenged by the DOJ, Department of Justice. Supreme Court upheld it, surprisingly, which is going to have ties to Roe v. Wade, which I'll get to momentarily. Then another court put a hold on it, and now that hold has been suspended. So we're back to the law being on the books and operational. Now, while watching an interview the day that the Texas governor signed this law, he said one of the dumbest things, and there are lots of dumb things that these politicians say, that we're going to eradicate rape. Because one of the reporters asked him, well, what about rape? You know, if somebody's violently raped, you're going to force them to have that kid? The governor said, and I'm paraphrasing here, of course, that we are going to halt rape in Texas. Not only is that unrealistic, it's just a foolish sentiment. It's a nice sentiment to think that there'll be no more rape, but that's highly unlikely, as much as I wish it would happen. So, I mentioned Roe v. Wade. And for those of you that do not know, on that historic day in 1973, there were two cases. There was Roe v. Wade and Doe versus Bolton. Roe v. Wade and Doe versus Bolton, which both decriminalized abortion nationwide in 1973. And then there was Planned Parenthood versus Casey in 1992. But I didn't want to get into all the true history, even though, you know, I do have some history I want to share with you, but just relatively recent history about abortion. And you can definitely look those up. Like I said, it's, they're landmark cases. Roe v. Wade is the popular one everybody knows, which will be coming up soon again to confront the Supreme Court. And just, I gotta digress here for a minute. Supreme, which is a brand that a lot of young people have been rocking lately. Supreme Court. I won't say that I'm the most law-abiding citizen. Now, I don't say that I go around breaking laws or intentionally. It's just my mindset that we've given these other human beings these authorities over us. And when in relation to abortion, a predominantly male sector of all levels of government and law establishments, not excluding the Supreme Court, which now has some women on it, fortunately. But we're going to tell this woman what she can do with her body. We're going to make her do things with her body. And this is just not limited to abortion. It also goes into vaccines and vaccine mandates, which I'm not going into here today. But we're going to make you inject this into your body or lose your job. There's a very popular NBA player who's about to probably lose millions of dollars or his job or submit because they won't let him play because he's not vaccinated, even though the vaccine does not cure you And you can still spread the disease, the virus, and you can still die from it. But I digress. But I'm coming back. Abortion, in my opinion, is not the right of the individual. They have to live with that choice. Because I am in no way saying that abortion is right. For some, it's a convenience. For some, it's a necessity. Okay? Just like I'm not saying not getting the vaccine or getting the vaccine is right. It's not about that. And I understand the champions for babies, the champions for life, the ones that are so pro-life, yet pro-death penalty. Can you be pro-life and pro-death penalty? Seems quite hypocritical, doesn't it? Yeah. Anyway, these human beings that dictate what people can and cannot do with their bodies need to be removed. And I'm not going to say from this earth, but from their positions. In fact, I think the entire structure needs to be disassembled, dismantled. A person, you, me, and every human being should have the basic fundamental right to do what we please with our own bodies. Period. And some will say, but it's not just your own body. There's a baby living in there. Perhaps it is a fetus. Catholic Church says it doesn't have a soul up until a certain age, well past 6 weeks. Medicine says the baby can feel. Some medicine says the baby cannot feel because it doesn't have a brain yet to feel. Nevertheless, this isn't about that. Because guess who owns that baby? Not anyone outside that womb. Only the womb holder owns that baby. And perhaps the sperm contributor might have a say. But at the end of the day, it is the woman who has been impregnated. The pregnant woman is the one who should say, I want this baby. I can afford this baby. I'm going to love this baby. I can take good care of this baby. I will have this baby. Or, I don't want this baby. I can't afford this baby. I was raped. I don't want this baby. My uncle forced himself on me. I don't want this baby. I don't want this baby. That is logical. That is logical. Anything else outside of that is illogical. It is not your business what someone else does with their body, with their life. It's illogical to think otherwise. It's okay to be passionate. It's okay to be compassionate. It's okay to sympathize with that unborn child whose life may or may not be terminated. I understand. I am not without compassion or without sympathy myself. I wish no miscarriages happened. I wish no SIDS, deaths happened. Sudden infant death syndrome. I wish little kids wouldn't get hit by cars chasing balls. I wish abortions did not have to happen. So this is why I say I'm not really on either side. I understand both sides. I do. But just like these vaccine mandates, mask mandates, okay, not too much of an imposition. Way different than injecting, mandating, forcing that I inject a foreign substance into my bloodstream. Same thing. For whatever reason, this woman does not want to have this baby. It is not up to you to dictate, to make and force a woman to have a baby. Do you know anything about babies? Do you know anything about love? Do you know anything about parenting? Because if you do, you know a child that does not receive love is going to most likely be problematic for our society. In a recent episode, I mentioned that I've never met an adopted person that didn't have that something. And I don't blame them, of course. How could you not feel some kind of way knowing that your mother and or father gave you away? And frankly, in the episode, I said I hadn't met an adopted person that wasn't fucked up in some way. To be just a little more candid. Now, if you force a woman to have a baby who would have otherwise sought a medically approved, medically safe procedure to terminate that pregnancy, and she has to go on for 9 months with this baby she never wanted growing inside of her, with the resentment growing. And this is generally speaking. And I know in a lot of cases, that 9 months, and then once the baby is born, it's a baby. That bond may be formed. And I say maybe formed because there are a lot of different instances with this. From what is considered childbearing years, the age of 15 to 44. Yes, I said it, 15 to 44. What was considered normal childbearing age. Look it up if you don't believe me. Yeah. So, and even though female humans are having children younger than 15 and older than 44. And it's been going on for a very, very long time. A very long time. Now, when it comes to being illogical, one of the first things I thought about was, isn't the popular consensus, the main thought is that the world, our Earth, suffers from overpopulation. We're 8 billion and counting. Billion. Natural resources like clean air, clean water, food, becoming less and less available. Not here in America, in Western civilization, we all still eating like pigs. Gluttonous, we eating. Okay? Food is in abundance. We throw out lots of food here in the United States and refuse to give it away in a lot of instances. Overpopulation is real. It's real. So just from that standpoint, you would think these authority figures, these supreme courts, these governors, these humans would lean towards, you know what? We could use less people on this planet, and I'm not going to force or make it illegal for a woman to be able to terminate a pregnancy. Overpopulation is one reason. It is illogical to stop abortion and make it unlawful. As I mentioned earlier, the choice of any human being to do what they want with their body. You want to get a tattoo on your face? Do it. You want to get your whole body covered in glitter? Do it. You want to get your tongue forked? Your brows arched? Do it. Do it. You don't want another human growing inside of you? Do what you feel you need to do. But guess what? No matter abortion, tattoos, whatever it may be, it's that person's body. They can do whatever the fuck they want with it. And if a person really wants an abortion that lives in Texas, guess what they're going to do? They're either going to do it themselves, which is dangerous. And it used to be common practice, by the way. Let's just be very clear. Abortion used to be commonplace. If you don't know, then it became a political fireball, if you will. Okay? But women used to do it all the time. You know how they used to do it? I'll tell you. They used to do it with herbs. That's right. Herbs. Yeah. You don't believe me? Let me share a little something with you. There's something called natural abortifacients. Abortifacients. Yes. Know what those are? They were basically folk remedies. They were used at times to terminate pregnancy. Now, some of them were poisonous. Among them were rue, Italian catnip, savory, sage, soapwort, cyperus, white and black hellebore, and pennyroyal were among some of these herbal solutions to terminate a pregnancy. And this went on for a long time. A very long time. So, I've heard horror stories of women taking a hanger and inserting it into their womb. So if a woman in Texas wants an abortion and it's illegal in Texas, she most likely won't take the herbal or the hanger route. I hope. I don't know how effective the herbal route is. Apparently it was quite effective for many back in the day. But she's probably going to drive, is what she's going to do, to another state. Maybe even another country, like Mexico, who's close. And we're having one heck of a border war going on, but I'm not going to digress into that right now. She's going to seek another option. If she's determined Right? Yeah, of course she is. So, all you've really made it is more inconvenient here in Texas and of course Mississippi as well. But there's many laws all over the place that have done this. Another reason, other than overpopulation and the choice a human being has to do what the fuck they please with their body, it's illogical to take away the choice for somebody to have an abortion when the people that are imposing this lack of choice are men. Are men. Let's be very clear, particularly here in the United States and many other places as well, in Europe and such. White males are making these decisions for women. Now, are there minorities? Are there women? Are there other races? The Senate, the House, even the president, in the Supreme Court, and all of these lower courts, all these lawmakers, quote unquote lawmakers. Of course there are. But the majority, and the further back you go historically, the whiter and maler it gets. Yes. These are dudes with dicks making decisions for people with vaginas. This shit's illogical. It's illogical. This shit don't make no fucking sense. Who are you to say what the fuck I can do? I said this early on in this episode. When I think about being a law-abiding citizen, I don't go around just breaking laws for no reason. But I have zero respect for these fuckers that put on their pants one leg at a time. Just like I do, that can tell me what the fuck I can do. Now, it's not about arrogance for me. It's not about me being anti-authority. For me, it's about logic. And you say, well, Mike, these people were elected. The people chose them. What people? Guess who's the majority people in the United States, even by the latest census numbers? Huh? And I'm really not trying to take this into race here. These are just the fucking facts. These are just the facts. It's white people. And that hold that the white male has had for centuries. It's like they had this tight grip, and time and inevitability is peeling their fingers back off of that grip little by little. And I must say that I love everybody, including the people that hate me. I am not a racist and don't have a racist bone in my body. I have friends, literally, of every race. Well, I won't say every race, like every race on the planet, but white, black, Asian, Latino, Indian, Native American. And if I forgot some major group, forgive me. Agnostics, atheists, Catholics, Baptists, Muslim. Growing up in New York, even though I grew up in the hood, in Harlem, in the Bronx, because I went to private school, I was exposed to different cultures, different races. I've had friends of different races. There's not a racist bone in my body. But I cannot be naive I cannot ignore the facts. I cannot ignore history. It is what it is. The fact that the white male has been in control of the laws, in control of this nation, the United States of America, is undeniable. Undeniable. So when you look at who's making these laws and imposing their will upon these pregnant women, it's purely illogical. This is not a council of elders, including equal amounts of women and equal amounts of races that, after possibly spirited debate, have come to a conclusion, a wise conclusion that is derived from experience and wisdom. No. No. It's coming from a genealogy of historic control freaks that have been in control and don't want to share the world, don't want to play fair, and want to hold on to this control and have many motivations why. They don't want abortion available. Yeah. So, if you think logically, how could you not come to this conclusion? How could you not? There's another illogical reason to ban abortions. Rape. Touched on it earlier. Rape is hideous. Rape is disgusting. I don't even, and I'm a male, and I don't even understand it. I never wanted to take nothing. I don't care how fine you are, how horny I am. I've never wanted to have sex with a woman that bad. So I don't understand it. But I know it exists. Now, there's something called statutory rape. There's violent rape. Rape is rape. It is taking someone's body from them. And you're telling me it's logical that if a woman is raped and subsequently impregnated, that she has to carry that baby to term, have it? It's ridiculous. It's illogical. It doesn't make any sense. And the same is applicable to incest. Right? Doesn't make any sense when you really think about it. Now, organized religion is what it is. You listen to, I've got many episodes. You can get some insight on how I feel about organized religion. There are some people that are so dedicated, committed, and devout that I believe their logic has gone out of the window. That being said, I'm not knocking you. Believe what you want to believe. Follow what you want to follow. It is your life. Do what you want with it. However, those that allow their religion to dictate all of their life's choices, again, is illogical. And some of these pro-life people that I've seen and demonstrations, I remember coming to Dallas, which is where I reside in Texas, a suburb of Dallas, and passing or rolling down the street in my car. And I remember distinctly coming over a hill, and there was an abortion clinic there, and there was a bunch of protesters. And I was assaulted with vivid imagery of murdered babies, of aborted fetuses, large posters being held. And I thought to myself, isn't there a better way? I understand you're passionate, but how rude of you. I'm not going to get an abortion. I'm going to wherever I was going. But I have to be assaulted by this imagery. I have to be imposed upon by your passion. And once again, I get it. The passion for life, protecting babies. I understand. But all people are not good. All births are not good. So you don't know who you might be saving, quote unquote. Right? You don't know the circumstances behind the pregnancy. Sadly, there are just a lot of idiots on this planet. Or there are a lot of misinformed, passionate people that haven't thought things through. Take the time to think. Think it through. Think it through. If you do, you'll know. Logic will guide you. Now, I did a lot of research. Those of you who follow me know I end up going down a rabbit hole. Today was no exception. There's a lot of information, which is where I learned about the natural abortifacients. Abortifacients. And I don't feel comfortable with that word. I just recently learned it. It's spelled abortifacients. And that's where, the herbs that people use to abort fetuses. So there's, historically speaking, about, and we measure everything after Christ's death, but 1075 BCE. And it was an Assyrian law, the Code of Asura. They would impose a death penalty upon a woman who had an abortion against her husband's wishes. And the first recorded evidence of induced abortion is from the Egyptian Ebers Papyrus, and that was 1550 BCE. So you're talking 3,000-4,000 years ago. So, millennia ago. And if you go back to the recent history, in the United States, there was the newly created AMA, the American Medical Association, and they initiated an anti-abortion campaign. This was back in 1857. I have something very important I'm about to say about the AMA. And it's very important that you listen to this. The American Medical Association, the American AMA, the American Medical Association lobbied for the criminalization of abortion, capitalizing on fears that not enough white women were having children. Did you hear what I just said? In 1857, the newly created American Medical Association initiated an anti-abortion campaign, and they lobbied for the criminalization of abortion, capitalizing on fears that not enough white women were having children. Perhaps it might shine a little light on why the census numbers are what they are. Now, the numbers every 10 years keep inching towards less white people, more color in the census is coming. Maybe they're being outfucked, to put it crudely. There are more babies of color. And doesn't seem like they want that. I wish none of this shit existed, to be quite honest with you. Race, color, abortion, none of it. I'm a dreamer. I wish none of this shit existed. I wish none of it had to be discussed, talked about. I wish it was non-existent. I was born into this shit just like you. I didn't have a choice. Yo, get ready to come out the womb. Earth? Nah, they fucked up. Yo, let me go over to this planet over here. Planet Utopia. Where they happy. Everybody loves each other. No drama, no bullshit. Yeah, that's where I want to go. No? It's full over there? What? I guess it's Earth. Earth is great in a lot of ways, but oh, gee whiz, this shit is, it's drama filled. Do I get some bonus points at the end of the life if I put up with Earth shit for a certain amount of years? Cause them human motherfuckers, they some real, it's some nice ones. It's some nice ones. But it's some hateful motherfuckers down there. That's what I would just say. Is baby, if I had the option, like if there was options and shit, fuck Earth. I'm skipping Earth. I might come there to visit. They got some nice vacation places down there, but nah, I'm not trying to be like permanently living there. Especially in that Western, oh man, yeah, the States, woo. From start, they came in ravishing motherfuckers, but, that's what Kamala Harris said today. By the way, I know I digress. She said that, the American has a horrible history, that the European invaders came in and spread violence and disease. I didn't say that shit. Once again, I'm paraphrasing. Look it up. Kamala Harris said that, today. And it's mid-October 2021. The vice president, Madam Vice President, said that. It's facts. She ain't the bad guy. It's facts. Critical race theory. I haven't addressed it or done an episode on it yet because I haven't fully ingested the entire documents. So I don't know yet. But it appears that history is catching up with itself. And those in control are reluctant to give up control and are pulling out all the stops. Voting laws and the list goes on, but abortion, based on that last sentence I stated about the American Medical Association, may be part of that. Listen, It is your body. And it's not just about abortion, like I said. It's your body. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, a human being should be allowed to do with their body what they want, regardless how much we disagree with it, regardless how hideous and heinous and immoral and wrong it may be to us. I get it. Do you? Being a crusader for an unborn child is a noble effort. I do not want any defenseless child to be killed, to not be given the chance to thrive. But if you bring a child into this world in circumstances that are not optimal or ideal or even remotely optimal or ideal, you're starting on the wrong foot. Think logically. Stop being a sheep and following your religious beliefs. Stop letting your passion and emotions guide your actions. Be rational. Be logical. Think things through. Before you jump out on the curb with a giant poster of an aborted fetus. Before you sign into law that a woman cannot abort a baby after she's been raped. Or for any reason that you deem justifiable. Stop imposing your will upon others. Live and let live. Why is it so hard for us humans to get along and to love one another? Does anybody know? I've tried to figure it out, and I'm a loving, caring, compassionate, empathetic man. And I don't understand why it's so hard for other people to be the same way. Please try. Change your mind and change your heart if you know you can make the world better if you do so. I'm scrolling through all of these dates and facts. I did a lot of research for this. The Roman Catholic Church, how they were involved. I went into depth about the Roe v. Wade and the Doe versus Bolton cases back in 1973. This is an interesting thing I do want to share. The abortion rate has continuously fallen from a peak in 1980 of 30 per 1,000 women to 11.3 per 1,000 women. And that was as of 2018. 77.7% of abortions were performed at 9 weeks or less, and 92.2% of abortions were performed at 13 weeks or less gestation. Depending on which year you're looking at. Increased access to birth control has been statistically linked to reductions in the abortion rate. Abortion's been going down, y'all. I often wonder, these pro-life champions, if they think the morning after pill or any form of birth control is abortion as well. Or should we not have that? What about condoms? Should we not have that either? Should we just run around on a fuck fest and just put 100 billion people on this planet till the shit's so heavy it falls out of orbit? Logic. Try it. Try thinking logically. I'm not going to go through all of these things. You can look them up. I'll put a lot of the websites that I did reference. I've been remembering to do that, but I will put these links in the show notes so you can check it out. Speaking of the show notes, please support the show, please. And I always urge you, weigh in. You can message me directly at mikesopinionshow@gmail.com. Again, that's mikesopinionshow@gmail.com, which is also in the show notes. I welcome all of it. And I respond personally to everyone still. Might take me a little while, but I do respond to you personally. Weigh in. How you feel? You pro-life? You pro-choice? How you feel about it? I really would like to know. Weigh in. Maybe I'll do another, episode part 2, part 3, and I'll have you as a guest. Or maybe read your email. If I think it's, worthy of being read. But please support the show, please, in monetary fashion if you can. The links, PayPal, Venmo, Cashapp are all there. If you want to send me a big giant box of cash, just email me at mikesopinionshow@gmail.com and I'll gladly give you the address. If you choose not to monetarily, I understand, but I am trying to keep this show commercial free. I have not read a single ad yet. Been approached. Haven't done it yet. So if you like your shows without commercials, I'd ask you to support the show. It takes time and money to produce this show every week. Also, please support the show. All the socials, all the places. You know where they're at. Listen on YouTube too. I need my listenership. Subscribe to YouTube, please. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all the places. Like, share, comment, subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. But all I ask is that we apply logic to our lives, and especially in today's topic, abortion, because abortion is under assault, and I think it's illogical for the reasons that I stated. We can respect each other's right to have our own opinions. We can respect each other's right to disagree and not be hostile about it. Not be disrespectful about it. Let other people live with their decisions and their choices. We can stand together in our disagreement, but stand together nonetheless. I'm Mike, and this is the Mike's Opinion Podcast. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much for listening to Mike's Opinion. Logic Unleashed.